This video is a Forkpitch production in conjunction with Midwest Digital AV Incorporated.
This is Jay with Forkpitch. I'd like to talk briefly about herbs. The fall weather is turning here in Chicago, and so it's time to start harvesting the last of our herbs from the garden. In the warm weather, we just pick and use. But you can still get great flavor from herbs you pick and dry yourself. Growing herbs is as simple as anything. They pretty much grow like weeds. In fact, I use oregano and mint as ground cover in my garden. They like a lot of sun, and unless it's unusually hot, you just spray them a couple times a week with the hose. With Dill and Cilantro, you pinch back any flower buds you see. That way the plant's energy keeps going into producing leaves. And that's really about it. So we have 10 today that we picked. And by picked, I mean went down as far on the stem as you could with a scissors and just cut them. This is lemon thyme. We remove the woodier stems and pick off the leaves. The leaves are smaller, so harvesting this one is probably the most labor intensive. But you get a slightly citrus, fresh flavor. It's great on fish and poultry. And we like to use it in cocktails or infusing vodka into gin. Next is mint, which is so great in mojitos. And like I said, it grows like crazy. Pinch the top and then pull back down on the stem and all the leaves come right off. This is parsley. Nice because you can use the stems along with the leaves. Great for soups, sauces, and as a garnish. Then we come to lavender, probably the hardest to grow, or at least the hardest to get started in your garden. However, once it's established, it's pretty hardy. It smells wonderful, and we mostly use it for cocktails and infusing. Rosemary. It looks a lot like lavender. In fact, the less mature lavender leaves are almost indistinguishable. I love it, little potatoes with rosemary and garlic and olive oil. Simple, but elegant and delicious dish. Here is the aforementioned cilantro, so prevalent in Mexican and Asian cuisine. Remember to pinch the flower buds. If you don't, you end up with seeds from the flower, which is how you get coriander, which is a great flavor too, but it has to be dried a lot longer. Otherwise, super easy to grow. This is sage, which many people associate with Thanksgiving. But fresh like this, it is amazingly flavorful and aromatic and can be used in a lot of things. Oregano, which is really versatile. But in your garden, it is so aggressive it outcompetes even weeds. But compared to dried oregano out of a shaker, well, you can't compare. It is so much more flavorful if you grow it yourself. Here is dill, which I allowed to flower, so I am not going to get as many leaves, but I know what I have is super intense with that unique dill flavor. These are verbena leaves, which are also called lemon balm. Super citrusy. We love them in cocktails, particularly gin and tonics. Last of these are basil. Basil is probably the one plant I would recommend keeping inside. Buy a little plant at the grocery store and transplant it into a slightly larger container. Keep it on a sunny windowsill and water it. Give it some plant food. Clip off the top of the leaves and you can have the wonderful basil flavor all year long. These are kind of the dredges right now because my tomatoes came in and we've been eating caprese salad left and right. I hope this was helpful. Visit forkpitch.com for more valuable videos and for quality food you can use. This is Jay with Forkpitch.
Visit forkpitch.com for curated content in a culinary marketplace.